Alright guys, I think I'm live. I think I'm live. Am I? Awesome! Can everyone hear me? Okay. I think I'm good. Even though I did post something on the GF site, but whatever. If we're all actually all good to go. Woo! Oh, no. Bad. Bad dual screen monitor setup. That's not going to work out in the end. Anyway, I guess I'll give it a couple more minutes until I go live. So until then, huh? Okay. Tweeted again and again. Technical difficulties have been solved. Things are running smoothly now. I guess the main question is can people hear music that are being broadcast out of my speakers? Oh, cool, they can hear it. So then, yeah, no echo. I apologize, guys, no echo. I'm actually currently playing that on my, oh, that's nice, at least some people can hear it. But, yeah, it's nice to know that that aspect's working. God, I seem to be having a lot of technical difficulties, and sometimes things just don't want to work with me. But, we've got 5, or actually 4 viewers minus me, so, I guess I'll go ahead and get started if everyone is ready. Pretty much what I'm going to be doing, guys, is I'm hosting a Sonic panel tomorrow at MegaCon. It is a anime, video game, and comic book convention in Orlando, Florida. I'm giving this panel tomorrow at 2 p.m., and I thought it'd be a nice little thing to do a dry run on gaming on GFTV for your guys' enjoyment. So I can do a test run and make sure people are going to, yeah, fully enjoy for everything I can. So, if everyone is ready, we can get started. Maybe. So, yeah. Anyway, so I'm about to loot. So, yeah, no, I'm not playing Echo. I'm sorry to disappoint, I'm not playing Echo. Anyway. I'm sorry! I'll do Echo as soon as I'm done with the panel, okay? I promise. I give you... Okay. Okay? We good? We good? I love you. I love you. Anyway, I'm now going to lose the live stream podcasting chat information because of, well, things. Yep, and there it goes. So, anyway, oh, stupid. Wow, I actually still retain something. That's kind of cool. Let's see if I can do... Scale. That's black. Help. No, I didn't want to do that. Anyway, guys. So, is everyone ready? So, yes. Anyway, guys, this is called True Blue. It's a Sonic panel. And now that all this has been getting on the way, I am Seth Highwind, or when I'm doing this, Zach Wilson, whatever you want to call me. I really don't care. So, ground rules for this panel. This is an open forum. I encourage everyone to basically speak their minds. I'm pretty much covering what I consider to be canon. I do cover 2 technical spin-off titles, and there will be a Q&A at the end, and I encourage you to ask anything. I don't care if it's a silly-nilly question or if it's a serious, down-to-earth question that you really want some philosophical insights while I prepare a nice smoke and a pipe and whatnot. And the one thing I'm, the reason why what I say by canon is every time I do this panel, people keep asking me, well, how come you don't do Sonic in the Secret Rings, or how come you don't do Sonic in the Black Knight, and well, how don't you don't do any handheld titles? Because it's quite simple. I consider them to be spin-offs. And for the record, so everyone is clear, what I consider to be a spin-off title, all of these. Everything you see before you is a spin-off game. Yes, everything from Wacky Worlds, the amazing Mario Paint wannabe clone, all the way down to the latest release, which it was, the last spin-off game to be done with Sonic Freeriders. And yeah, the Olympic Games are in there too, and yeah, I guess they're kind of nice, but these are all spin-off titles. But you know what? Because all of you keep begging me to do some of these spin-off titles, I will do one. I'm going to do one spin-off title. Last year I showed off Sonic Labyrinth. This year I've kind of stepped up my game. And I hope you all are ready for specialness to be unleashed. Sonic Schoolhouse! No, I'm not joking. This does exist. This was released back in November of 1996. It was done by Orion Entertainment. And if Orion Entertainment sounds familiar, they eventually became MGM Entertainment. And at the same time, they were also responsible for good games, such as the Wing Commander series, the Ultima series. It's the same Orion Entertainment. I don't know what happened here. I honestly do not. So pretty much what Sega thought, well, if Mario's fat, bloated Italian plumber gets an educational game, so we should have one too. And so Sonic Schoolhouse was created. This played like a nightmare version of Doom. It was pretty much a first-person game where you basically go exploring the schoolhouse, and you do fun things like match pictures with balloons or pick up bouncing letters, and it's like this C over here. If I could get my mouse to show up. No, that didn't work. There we go. But I mean, the C in the corner above Sonic's head looks demented and possessed, and the another nice thing about this game was that it kind of showed off Sonic is a lousy driver. Because one of the mini games is you get on a school bus and he takes you across the world and you learn things like Australia has different seasons than us. Fun stuff like that. Does anyone have any questions about Sonic Schoolhouse?
Why does it exist?
Because people want money. And people got money. And kids were scarred for life. Anyway, folks, moving on to the next big thing. So yes, Sonic the Hedgehog, the first game in the series. What?
Jojo has a question.
Yeah, what is it? Unfortunately, I can't see the chat window due to Keynote saying we're going to take over both your screens. So,
Okay. Jojo says, how were you able to play that game? To talk about it.
Because I'm a sadist, and I track down things because I can. And, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Did you used to own the game? Did you?
No, I didn't, honestly.
Oh, well. I know you played it at some point.
Yeah, I played it.
Yeah.
When I was bored, and I'm like, I don't remember this game, and oh god, what is this? No!
Right.
That's pretty much what happened. So, anyway, back on topic. This is Sonic the Hedgehog, the first game in the series, released June 23rd, 1991. It had 6 zones, and it's the only Sonic game to have 6 emeralds, except for the handheld games, which there was only 5 for some unknown reason. This is pretty much Genesis' flagship title, and this is also what basically gave Sonic his right as the mascot of Sega, because before Sonic was Alex Kidd. And for those who don't know who Alex Kidd is, well, let's just go and get that over with. This is Alex Kidd. And now let's show off Sonic. There we go. So once again, Alex Kidd and Sonic. So let's talk about the key factors here. Alex Kidd is, well, a weird little elf with a one-piece tracksuit and really big ears. Sonic has cool, he has attitude, he has everything that Sega needed to basically show that he was better than Mario, the plumber, who was round. And notice how Sonic's a bit pudgy, but he's not as complete overweight as Mario was. Alex Kidd, he ran around. He was killed in one hit. All he did was punch things. And in Alex Kidd, the only way to do boss battles was to basically beat people at rock, paper, scissors. I'm not joking. So basically, Sonic replaced Alex Kidd, and Sega was once again secure dominance. What's that look for? I just doubled my viewers. That's nice. So, anyway, so now we all know why Sonic was voted over Alex Kidd, and now we're going to move on to the next game in the series, which is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Released back in November 21st, 1992, which was also used as the debug code. This thing counted 11 zones, and I'm also counting in Sky Chase, Wing Fortress Zone, and Death Egg Zone, even though Death Egg was nothing but 2 boss battles. This was the first game to throw in the extra 7th Chaos Emerald, followed by the amazingness that was known as Super Sonic. But let's all be honest here. The reason why Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was so amazing was because it introduced Sonic's amazing foxy sidekick, Miles Tails Prower, or as everyone knows him as, Tails. Out of all the Sonic characters, Tails has got to be my absolute favorite, and honestly, whenever I play this game nowadays, I don't play as Sonic. I prefer to play as Tails only, which, sure, I don't get, I don't get awesomeness that is, Turbo Tails, which didn't come in until way later, until, Sonic and Knuckles, which we will talk about later. But, yeah, Tails, amazing game. I hated the special stages in this game. I absolutely did. I thought they were hard, they were kind of obnoxious at times, and if you had Tails, he kept on screwing you up if you were trying to do the combo. So the only real way to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds was to play as Sonic alone or Tails alone. Out of everything about this game, I would say this is probably some of my favorite levels, most notably Oil Ocean Zone. A lot of people don't like it, or a lot of people just don't really care about it. I think it was awesome because it was a great environment. You could basically jump around the oil ocean for as long as you want, and it had that awesome sunset view. So, anything about Sonic 2, or shall I move on to the next game? Your silence says everything. We shall move on!
Somebody said you're eating.
I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, Sonic CD! Released November 19th in 1993 on the Sega CD. Was also later reworked up to the actual PCs. Yeah, for PCs and whatnot. This game introduced Time Stones, gonna throw the whole Chaos Emerald thing out of the question. It's also the first game to introduce Metal Sonic and Amy before she turned into a crazy stalker. Actually, in this game, Amy was misread in the American instruction manual as Princess Sally. Why? I don't know. I honestly don't know how that could have happened, or... Yeah, it was weird. But she was also a tarot card reader. And then she picked up a hammer and became a psycho stalker, and Amy was changed characters in Adventure, and we'll guess that later. This game is most infamously known for the fact that both that the Japanese and European market got a completely different soundtrack than the U.S. market. The U.S. market pretty much got a soundtrack done by Spencer Nelson, if I remember correctly. Spencer Nielsen, who, as much as I love his work, because he composed most of the work in the Echo games, the American soundtrack doesn't really hold a candle to the European and Japanese counterpart, but it still has its merits for some stages. And the best part was, this recently had an amazing re-release back in December of 2011, which actually gave the U.S. audiences for the first time the Japanese soundtrack, as well as the ability to play as Tails, which meant I had to buy it, even though I pretty much own every single copy of Sonic CD they've released. Another cool thing about this was the fact this probably has the best special stages in classic Sonic history. Second best, if you will. The 3D stages where you had to go break UFOs was a lot of fun and challenging, and it wasn't as annoying as the special stages in Sonic 2. So, yeah. Anything else, or shall I move on to what most fans argue is the best game in the series next to Sonic CD? No, okay, moving on. What?
Somebody's asking about boss battles.
The fact that the boss battles in Sonic CD were pretty damn easy, and there was no difficulty to them whatsoever.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, is there anything else you really need to know about the boss battles except for they were kind of painfully easy? Especially the final boss, which was a joke compared to the final bosses in every other Sonic game made.
A lot of the bosses in that game only take like 3 or 4 hits. But I don't know, I died a lot at the final boss, but maybe that's because I'm using the iPad. That might have something to do with it.
Might have something to do with
Anyway. Yeah, that's pretty much the only question, except for, has anyone seen the Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
The best movie in existence. Yeah. Anyway, guys, going on to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I'm pretty much combining these into one game because let's face it, that's what Sega intended before they realized that, oh, wait a minute, the Sega Genesis cartridge can't hold as much data as we're trying to pump into it. So, this was released February 2nd and October 17th, if memory serves me correct, respectively in 1994. It was a split game, as we all know. It's also the first game to introduce Knuckles. And the best part about this was the fact that Sonic 3 was a great game on its own, had a lot of challenging stages, and I'm pretty sure everybody remembers the Carnival Night Zone barrel. The most annoying puzzle in a Sonic game because the instruction manual gives you no hints, no idea how to do it, and if you didn't know to basically rock up and down on the D-pad, you pretty much got to time over and would turn the game off in a fit of rage. I'm not going to lie, it took me about 5 to 6 years to learn how to do the trick because of the discovery of the internet. Also, the same way how I was able to beat the final stage in the Jurassic Park Sega Genesis game. But now I'm just kind of mumbling on. The cool thing about this was there were rumors going around until they were finally confirmed 2 years ago that Michael Jackson did the work for some of the songs, which in fact he did, which made the soundtrack to Sonic 3 Knuckles probably one of the best Sonic soundtracks in existence next to Sonic 3D Blast in my personal opinion. Also, Sonic 3 and Knuckles had the best special stages in 2D Sonic gaming. Red Sphere, Blue Sphere has gone down in my book as probably like one of my favorite bonus stages you could ever play in a classic 16-bit game. And the best part was, if you locked Sonic and Knuckles into Sonic 1, you got over like 2,000 stages of Red Sphere, Blue Sphere. And this is the part of the panel where I pretty much ask people how many stages they cleared. So in the chat room right now, how many people have cleared over, let's say, 50 stages? Or better yet, in the chat room, what's your maximum amount of stages you've cleared before?
Spaz says he's cleared over 50 stages. So has Titus. Mike Tile has cleared a total of 2. JoJo hasn't played Sonic 3.
I'm disappointed. My heart just kind of exploded for a second.
I think I've done like about 70, but I got a couple of the things where you can skip like 10 stages at a time. So.
Well, the skip stages count.
Oh, okay.
Like as in what is like the highest you've ever gotten level-wise? Because I know for me it was like 550.
Oh, yeah.
We good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. Also, another cool thing about Sonic 3 and Knuckles is this introduced Turbo Tails, which was probably the most amazing thing since sliced bread, because Tails went Super Saiyan and had 4 killer flickies surrounding him. and they basically ate everything in their path, which made bosses easy, but that's kind of what every super form does. And it's Hyper Tails with killer flickies. What's not to like? And so with that, we're going to move on to the next game, which I consider canon, but most people consider it as a spin-off game. Sonic 3D Blast. This was released on November 30th of 1996. It was a new direction with a isometric game to make use of the 3D functions. It had 7 amazing zones and also 7 amazing themes. We can get technical and say that Final Fight was the 8th zone, but since that was one big boss fight, which you can only access by getting all 7 Chaos Emeralds, I'm not really going to count it as a zone per se. So pretty much, as people know in this game, you basically ran around and you defeated badniks to collect the Flickies, which is the most common animal found in Sonic's universe. After that, you basically run to a goal ring, set the Flickies free, and then move on to the next part of the stage. Stages were basically ranged from 2 to 4 parts towards the end. And there's actually a ROM hack out there where you can play the game where you don't have to collect Flickies at all. But I think that kind of defeats the purpose. I'm like one of the few Sonic fans out there who really enjoys this game. Mainly because of the soundtrack, the ingenious level design, and I really do love the bosses in this game. There was a Sega Saturn version of this game as well, which also had an amazing soundtrack done by Richard Jacques, which is probably one of the most prettiest soundtracks on the Sega Saturn library, next to Burning Rangers. But my only complaint about this game was the special stage system, because to access special stages, you had to track down Tails and Knuckles and hand over 50 of your hard-earned rings. After that, they take you to probably the most pathetically easy special stages I have ever played in a Sonic game. And the worst part about it was, if you knew the location of both Tails and Knuckles, this is for the Genesis version, might I add, then you could get 2 Chaos Emeralds per stage, since all the rings would reset after you beat a special stage. So, in theory, you could get all 7 Chaos Emeralds by the... by the end of Rusty Ruin Zone. Thankfully enough, the Saturn version fixed it to a certain degree. Instead of getting 2 per stage, you can get 1 per stage. So in that case, if you did everything correctly, you'd get all 7 Chaos Emeralds by the beginning of Snowflake Valley. So any questions about Sonic 3D Blast? Going once? Going twice? Okay, cool. We're moving on to the 32-bit era with the Sega Saturn and Sonic R. Yes, people consider this a spin-off game as well, but you know what? It was Sonic's first official 3D outing. Released October 27th of 1997, is considered the first 3D game in the Sonic series. Has colorful graphics, an amazing cast of characters, and a soundtrack that gets songs stuck in your head as easy as rickrolling and anything else like Nyan Cat. Because let's face it, once you listen to any vocals like Can You Feel the Sunshine, Living in the City, Kai's favorite song, which is the Recall Factory Zone, Reactive Factory, you were pretty much had that music in your head for a good 2 weeks before you got it out, only to replace it with another song from Sonic R.
Yeah. These are facts.
These are facts. This game also spawned the root of all nightmares, because one of the unlockable characters was a nightmare in general. And I'm pretty sure people can guess, and if you guys are ready to have trauma-inducing nightmares, I'm ready to move on if you guys are.
Yeah, a couple of them have guessed.
And they probably have guessed correctly. So let's see it! Tails doll. Tails... Oh yeah, with the acid mix of Can You Feel the Sunshine in the background, which was unlockable in Sonic Gems Collection. This song scared the shit out of me the first time I unlocked it. And it just goes well with Puppet Tails, or Tails Doll, because it's creepy! It's a soulless, lifeless body that just floats around the stage waiting to eat your soul at any second. Honestly, if there was a Tails Doll plush, I'd own one. Because it's just downright creepy, and I'm kind of ready to move on if you guys are, because I might have nightmares of this tonight, and I'll probably wake up screaming, and I don't want that again. You guys ready to move on to the Dreamcast era? What? Okay, good. So yes, Dreamcast era, starting off with Sonic Adventure. Released December 23rd, 1998. This was Sonic's first official 3D outing with full-fledged 3D stages. The story was confusing. I will not lie. Mainly because you kept getting dragged into the past by Jakal so much that you kind of had to piece together what was going on, and things really didn't make sense until the final story where you basically had to kick Perfect Chaos's butt. But even then, things still weren't really I think the ending's great. It's like, oh cool, we stopped Chaos, Station Square is completely flooded. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting the hell out of here. And then he just runs away. All the characters were amazing except for the exception of one character, which I'm pretty sure we all know and remember. You know, the guy who did Duke Nukem did the voice of this character. Do I really have to do the voice? Or can people just go and say his name and we can just get over it?
Yes. Do it.
Do it?
Do it.
Froggy! Where you go, my Pollywog pal? Oh! Oh no, I lost you again! I still find it hard to believe that the guy who did Duke fucking Nukem did the voice of Big the Cat. That just... Oh, I don't know. It's just... Yeah. People also remember this game because it was glitchy. It was really, really glitchy, which I kind of liked exposing all the glitches, such as, you know, getting Tails into Emerald Coast, which is probably my favorite glitch in the entire game. Unfortunately, with the re-release they did on the Xbox 360 and PS3, they actually got rid of all of the fun glitches. Like, you can no longer get Tails in Emerald Coast. You can't get Tails into the going down and at dawn section of Speed Highway. You can't do the amazing glitch where you can get anybody into any level you want, even Knuckles into Twinkle Park, which sucked horribly. But overall, good game for Sonic's first 3D outing. It basically holds a spot in everybody's hearts, and it's just so much fun. So let's continue talking about Dreamcast with the next game, Sonic Shuffle. Probably the best party game ever. Mario Party ain't got shit on this, because Mario Party is actually a good party game. It's a lot of fun, and this game is also a great party game. It's a lot of fun. This game was also made by Hudson, but they really didn't want to put their name on the title because they realized they made a cheap as hell AI system. In case you guys aren't aware how Sonic Shuffle worked, you basically chose either Sonic, Tails, or Knuckles, or Amy, and you were then placed on a board. You were then given, I think it's like 10 cards, and those cards would dictate your movement. So if you played a 1, you were forced to move 1 space. If you played a 5, you had to move 5 spaces. You couldn't stop in between. And whenever you ran out of cards, you could then steal cards from your opponent, which, if you were playing by yourself, the AI would always make sure they stole your best cards. So if they were like 2 spaces away from getting a Precious Stone, they would take your card, go to the Precious Stone, and then go beat the boss to get a Precious Stone. Yeah, there's no such thing as Chaos Emeralds in this game, folks. They're called Precious Stones. And you have to say Precious Stones as Precious Stones. This game was also known for the event system, which if you landed on a question mark, you'd either do an event or you would do a mini-game. The mini-games are probably the only good part about this, but the events are worth it, because one of the events lets you see Dr. Robotnik in gold sequence. It's quite simply the most amazing screen I've ever seen in a Sonic game. And I've also put Sonic Shuffle up there, and the best way to lose your friends really fast. Because everyone knows that list is usually Super Smash Bros., GoldenEye or Perfect Dark, Mario Party, and then Sonic Shuffle. So if you want to lose friends fast, go play any of those 4 games. You'll love your friends, but you want to kill them afterwards. So I'm ready to move on if you guys are, unless you guys have any questions about Sonic Shuffle. Because I basically play around a Sonic Shuffle at least once a month with my friends, because if you can con people into playing with you, it's probably the best night you'll ever have in your life. We good?
Yeah.
Awesome. So now we're going to move on to possibly consider the peak of the Sonic series, Sonic Adventure 2. Released June 19th, 2001, then released later that year on the Nintendo GameCube because the Dreamcast unfortunately died. This game was the first one to introduce Sonic's amazing, badass, though turned emo counterpart in the later game, Shadow the Hedgehog. And of course, when you mention Shadow, you have to do this. Maria. And then space out for a good 5 seconds, and then snap back, and then destroy everything in your path. This game had two storylines, the good storyline and the dark storyline. Dark storyline, you played as Eggman Rouge the Bat, who was a undercover CIA / presidential / gun / art thief. Yeah. And, of course, after this game, that's when Rouge started to develop the Tomb Raider effect, which I'll talk about more in the next game. And, so this game was probably the best. It had the amazing, it brought back the Chow system from Sonic Adventure 1, it brought back the emblem system, brought back, all the missions you had to do, and it had a really solid storyline with a lot of awesome things, and it ditched the overworld exploration map for in tune of just classic Sonic level progression. And, the game also had a really sad ending. Like, if you didn't cry when Shadow died, there was probably something wrong with you, because when you first played it, you had no idea Shadow was going to make a miraculous recovery and then have amnesia when Sonic Heroes came around. So, yeah, Sonic Adventure 2, considered the peak of the series, and the last Dreamcast game I'm going to talk about before we move on to the modern era. Is everyone pretty good, or any questions or comments about Sonic Adventure 2?
Best game ever. And Draco laughed instead of cried. Okay, somebody asked about what's with these adventure remakes.
These adventure remakes, as in with, the worst game in existence that released in 2006 that I'll be talking about later? Or are we talking about all the fan attempts that we're making Sonic Adventure 3? It's going to be some cheesy as hell Flash game that has nothing, that makes no sense and controls like shit.
I think they're talking about Battle and DX.
Oh, okay, pretty much people were kind of confused about Battle, like what was the main difference? And the fact about Battle is, all of the unlockable characters from multiplayer were automatically unlocked. To get the characters in the Dreamcast version, you had to get emblems. When you got all the emblems, that's when you got more characters. You also unlocked the amazing 3D Green Hill stage. But that's what Adventure 2 added, the battle-wise, was all the multiplayer characters were unlocked right off the bat. Sonic Adventure DX eliminated some of the really bad glitches from the original Sonic Adventure, but still retained all of the fun and exploitable ones. And it also brought a mission mode, in which you basically had to run around the main map and do missions like for Knuckles, dig in front of the signpost that has Cream's favorite Chow, or do the impossible, jump at the height of your jump down a ice cap zone while doing a 360 over a goal line of rings above the air in the snowboarding section. DX also included every single Game Gear game made as far as Sonic games goes. Hope that answered your question.
Yeah.
Awesomeness. Moving on. Sonic Heroes. This was the first multi-platform game. This was when Sega just thought to themselves, wait a minute, we can release a game on GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox. Let's do it. And pretty much from that, that's kind of where it kind of fell short, because they were trying to make sure that they made it for all platforms. Oh, PC included, but I don't know anyone who owned the PC version of this, so yeah. This game is cheesy as hell. Let's all face it. You can't go without a minute without laughing because of the super amazing power of teamwork! Yeah! Of course, this game also proved a lot of my theories of revolving around Cream the Rabbit, who was introduced in Sonic Advance 2, but all my fears and ideas actually came to fruition in this game. And I'm gonna prove it to you right here. So, yes, this is Cream the Rabbit. She is 6 years old, she is annoying, she has a really creepy voice actress, and she carries around a Chow, the only small redeeming factor of this girl. And, you expect me to believe that a 6-year-old rabbit who probably weighs, oh, I don't know, 35 pounds, maybe 20, actually no, she's skinny, so let's say about 20 pounds, how she can lift a 16-year-old crazed stalker who weighs about, let's say, 80 and a 2-ton cat with no issue and launch them off like ping pong balls? My theories about Cream being the devil were finally proved in this game. And, she is the spawn of Satan, folks. That's the only way she's able to lift these two with no problems without breaking her back or her ears. And, of course, talking about her age is another reason why, I kind of like Sonic Heroes. It's a good game, don't get me wrong. It's just they changed the ages of everybody. Sonic dropped an age, Knuckles dropped an age, Amy gained an age, Tails went from being 12 to being 8 years old, which was annoying as hell to me. And, yeah, that's really all I can say about Sonic Heroes. You guys ready to move on to the next game that I'm pretty sure y'all know what's coming up next?
Yep.
Shadow the Hedgehog. Released November 15th, 2005. This is what people considered the downfall of the Sonic series. Why? Because you're playing as Shadow the Hedgehog. This is when he kind of took the emo and cranked it up to 11. Because after all, we were introduced to guns! And more guns! And explosions like a Michael Bay movie. And this game was supposed to be dark. And it was dark. I mean, hell, one of the missions had you blowing up Air Force One because you could. I mean, if there's anything to be said about Shadow the Hedgehog, at least the music was good. Music was good. This is when they first started using the 4 kids voice actors, so those who weren't prepared for it kind of were shocked. And, you know, and of course everybody remembers the famous lines, "Find the computer room!" And, "Damn, not here!" And everybody's favorite, "Where's that damn 4th Chaos Emerald?" Yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog. The only good part about this game was it introduced the Omni-Chow gun. Probably the best special weapon you could ever see in a video game. Because after all, it fired Omni-Chow, that annoying-ass tutorial guy who replaced Tikal after Sonic Adventure 1. And what's better than firing that annoying little bastard? So yeah, any questions about the damn 4th Shadow the Hedgehog? No? Do I really have to? Yes, what is it?
I don't know. Somebody said I have a question.
What is it?
Okay. How long is the game and what platform is it on?
The length of the game really depends. If there's one thing Shadow the Hedgehog got right, was its branching story, because every level, save for some of them, have 3 missions. You either have a hero mission, a dark mission, or a neutral mission. The neutral mission usually involves you going straight for the goal, and the hero and dark mission is like either kill like 50 black aliens, or kill 27 gun troops, or find the computer room and other stuff. This is available on Xbox, GameCube, and PS2. And the only way to unlock the last story was to get every single ending. Because I think there were 15 levels in all, and at the end of each branching, the final branching area, there were 2 different endings. A hero ending and a dark ending. And you had to beat every single ending to unlock the true story, which you unlock and you beat to beat the game. So the game's actually pretty long, which is kind of shocking, but the nice thing about the game is they went back to that really weird plastic-y look from Sonic Adventure. So, any other questions about Shadow the Hedgehog? No? Okay, cool. We're moving on to the modern era, which means we have to talk about this ungodly game. Sonic 06. And we're done with that slide. I'm kidding. I have to talk about it. Sonic 06, released November 2006. They called it Sonic the Hedgehog, which confused the hell out of people. So we just call it Sonic 06, or the game that shall not be named. Kind of like Voldemort. It proves that the music is still good, and the gameplay is absolute shit and glitchy and involves bestiality with Princess Elise and Sonic dying in the most stupid way I've ever seen, period. There were only 3 good things about this game. Good thing number 1, the music. The music was really, really good, pretty much on par with Sonic Adventure 2 in my personal opinion. White Acropolis Zone is probably my favorite theme from this game, if not Crisis City. Also, 2, it introduced Silver the Hedgehog. I don't care what people say, I thought Silver the Hedgehog was a really cool addition to the Sonic universe. He was an amazing character, I really did enjoy his storyline, and I loved his psychokinesis ability. Not to mention, it was because of Silver, we saw a 3D version of Blaze the Cat. Until she died in the most stupid way possible, and made me cry. And the third good thing about this game was we got to see what Eye-Collar Dr. Robotnik is. Because in this game, Eggman had a really awesome costume. Instead of the weird belt buckles, he had, like, suction cup or, like vinyl, like, ports for, like, but, like, cable inputs in his jacket. And he has blue eyes! You saw Dr. Eggman's eye color for the first time in a Sonic game, or the Sonic series, period. And it was awesome! And that's really about it. Can I please move on?
Georgia says, no, you must stay here.
I don't want to stay! I don't want to see Sonic and Elise laughing like they're in Final Fantasy X.
Okay, you can move on.
Thank you. Alright, Sonic Unleashed. This was released November 18th, 2008. This was considered the apology for Sonic 06, though with the Werehog, they kind of screwed that one over. I introduced the Werehog, which, it was a cool concept, the fact that Sonic turned into this beast at night when he was drained of the power of the Chaos Emeralds after Robotnik, Eggman finally got the upper hand with him going to super form, which was amazing to see. The thing about the Werehog gameplay was it was slow, stretchy arms for some unknown reason, and it played like a dumbed-down version of God of War with relentless button mashing and quick-time events for bosses and enemies. The daytime stages kicked ass, because it was pretty much Sonic doing his thing, going balls as fast as balls fast, going the speed of like a pod racer, going, 0 to fuck. And the support character for this game, Chip, I really liked. He was cute, he was fluffy, he wasn't annoying, he wasn't as annoying as Omnichow or Tikal was, and he had the best, pretty much like the best catchphrase, and I'm pretty sure it could be used as a good pickup line, where he just pulled out a bar of chocolate and goes, "Want some chocolate?" So, soundtrack was also good. The only thing that sucked about this, another thing that sucked about this game was whenever you want to unlock levels, you had to collect the stupid sun and moon medallions, which meant you had to do a lot of backtracking or stopping in your tracks when you were playing as Sonic, or making sure you explored every orifice as the Werehog. So, any questions about Sonic Unleashed? Nope. Okay. Alright. Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 1. This was released in October 2010. It was a really fun game, but had some flaws. Such as, the physics system was, Sonic being able to stop dead on a hill. The stages pretty much ranged from being too easy to having moments where it was just ungodly hard. And, of course, the infamous House of Cards stage where you pretty much could get 50 lives without trying. Another thing about this game that Lost fans didn't really like was the fact that all the bosses were repeats. The first level was pretty much the ball and chain from Sonic, for the first boss from Sonic 1. Next stage was the really annoying boss from Casino Night Zone. Lost Labyrinth Zone was pretty much an overhaul version of, the Labyrinth Zone boss, and then, the Mad Gear stage was pretty much a weird combination of the Sonic and Knuckles Mushroom Hill Zone boss and the Metropolis Zone boss from Sonic 2. And then, of course, Egg Station Zone was nothing but literally a boss rush mode, which kind of irritated. And also, they found a way to make the Sonic 1 special stage suck. Because instead of controlling Sonic through the special stage, you pretty much rotated the course as he went along. And I absolutely hated it. Because you were timed for these stages, and if you didn't beat him in fast enough time, you were forced out of the stage. If you didn't, they had, ring gates and goal rings at the most inopportune places, and It was a good game, but personally, they overcharged for $15 for it. That was a bit of an overcharge for pretty much a rehash. And that's pretty much Sonic 4. It was a good game, but just had some flaws. So, any questions on Sonic 4?
Keep in mind you got about like a 10-second delay, so.
I know.
Nope, no questions.
Okay, moving on to Sonic Colors, the game that pretty much brought Sonic back from, well, being shit. This was released November 16th, 2010. Had an amazing, just amazing soundtrack. It had a great concept of saving aliens. This is the game, besides Freeriders, that brought in the new voice actors, which all of them fit well, especially Sonic and Tails. The script was pretty much humored, pretty much almost reminded you of the old cartoon shows you used to watch. And, I've always been a fan of the water levels in Sonic. I admit I'm one of the few fans who doesn't hate the Sonic levels. And Aquatic Park is probably my new favorite, water level in a Sonic game. Just because it was a lot of fun. Sonic could actually swim. And of course, if you got the yellow wisp power to do drill, you could pretty much just go in and out of the water as you please and just wreck stuff up. So this is Sonic Colors is considered the apology for the apology. And if you have a Wii, for the love of God, pick this game up so you're not missing much. So any questions on Sonic Colors?
Not yet, no.
5.
Jojo has a question.
What is it? What the? Oh, that's not good.
What happened?
I'm running out of reserve power. Where's my backpack?
Okay.
What?
Can I have the mic for a second?
Hold on. Yeah, I know I'm running out of reserve battery. There we go. Holy hell. Yeah, mic's right here if you wanted it.
Okay, sorry, I had to get that power plugged in because he was about to die on his laptop. But, okay. Jojo didn't particularly enjoy the Sonic Color stages in Generations. I didn't either. Did you like Planet Wisp in Generations?
I'm going to talk about that next.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but yeah, you will love Sonic Colors. I understand if you hate Planet Wisp in Sonic Generations because that's some bullshit. But the whole stage design is a lot better in Sonic Colors, I think.
It is.
And then I'll give this to you. Mectile wants to know what your favorite power in Colors was.
Okay, well, since I'm going back to the colors, there we go. My favorite power in Colors, I'd have to say, was honestly the drill power, because especially with Aquatic Park, the fact that you could pretty much transverse the water without having to do like an infinite amount of jumps was a lot of fun. I love digging into things, which lets you access a lot of the awesome secret areas. Other than that, I'd have to say the purple one, just because you pretty much turned into Sonic the Nom Nom Nommer, which was the best attack you could ever possibly do in Colors. So before I have any other issues, shall I move on to Generation so I can address the whole bullshitness that was Planet Wisp? Okay, so Sonic Generations. This was released last year on November 2nd. I remember that because I picked that up with Uncharted 3. This had a great mix of classic and modern Sonic and had an amazing reimagining of like the old bosses and a lot of the rival fights, which were just a whole bunch of fun. And their stage selection was amazing, except for Planet Wisp. And yeah, because Planet Wisp was a debauchery of everything that made Planet Wisp a fun stage in Sonic Colors. Like, for some unknown reason, they got in their minds that for both modern and classic Sonic to add nothing but bottomless pits for Planet Wisp pretty much slowing down your progress and screwing you over. Um, if there's any stage I loved their reimagining of in this game was Crisis City, because it was the perfect personification of everything that was wrong with Sonic 06. I loved Crisis City so much because it had the bottomless pits, it had the annoyingness, and you wanted to break your controller every time you played it. It was the perfect, just everything perfect about Sonic 06 in one nutshell. Yeah. Also, the 3D version of Chemical Plant Zone was quite simply a really, really badass, and I loved Tails' reaction after you beat the stage, well, because the best part of this game was that they had the humor of colors, and they'd make side comments, to their past selves as well as narrated stages. And Tails, after you beat Chemical Plant Zone, he looks at the purple water and he goes, "I don't know, Sonic, but that purple water gives me a funny feeling for some unknown reason," pretty much indicating how many times he would drown whenever you play that stage. Oh God. Any questions about Generations?
Mike Child wants to know about your favorite boss battles.
In Generations?
Yes.
I'd have to say I really was happy with the Metal Sonic rival fight because they pretty much did an awesome reimagining of Stardust Speedway. Not to mention they used the Japanese version of that song, which made me leap for joy.
Yes.
And I really also enjoyed the Perfect Chaos fight because it was Sonic without the supersonic ability, which gave that boss fight a whole new level to it.
Okay, and then Spaz wants you to talk about the new voice actors.
The new voice actors are quite simply amazing. They nailed Sonic perfectly, better than the Sonic X voice actor. Tails is amazing again. He basically reminds me of how it's like a mixture of what Amy Plant did in Us for Sonic X and the other games, combined with the original voice actor for Tails for Adventure, and combined into one really awesome package. Not to mention any scene that had modern Tails and classic Tails talking to each other was amazing because classic Tails is probably the cutest little thing I've ever seen. As far as the new voice actors, the only voice I really can't stand is Jet's new voice actor. Although Jet's not in Generations, Jet's voice actor in Freeriders is probably the most ear-numbing thing I've ever heard. Because they took Jet, who is this amazing, cocky asshole from Riders, and turned him into a really whiny, high-pitched squealer.
What about Shadow's new voice? Everybody seems to agree that Shadow's new voice is kind of terrible.
It is really terrible.
I mean, as basically a really white person trying to sound like Dracula.
It's just, you can't get the deepness and the sincerity. Honestly, Keanu Reeves could have done a better job doing Shadow.
Oh God, he totally should.
Like, if Keanu Reeves was Shadow the Hedgehog, game over. It'd be amazing.
Okay.
Either Keanu Reeves or Jason Statham, honestly.
Not Jason Statham. Okay. Covet wants to know what you thought of the opening cutscene with the birthday party and everything.
I thought that was cheesy as fuck.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, it was like, oh my god, did I just walk right back into Sonic Heroes? Did they personify that version? Yeah, they did. Though I will admit, it was kind of amazing seeing everyone get sucked into their respective counterparts, which I thought was a nice touch on Sega's part, how each character went to their respective game, except for Tails. And I don't know why Tails and Amy were switched. I'm thinking Amy was probably put in Chemical Plant Zone because that's where the Metal Sonic boss was located. So,
Okay, and next, Mectile says, "Tell us about the music. Let me know your thoughts on the City Escape remixes."
I was very, very happy.
Me too.
The music in this game is by far, like, the second this game came out, I told myself, when I go home for Thanksgiving, I am going to track down this soundtrack and own it, which I did. Every remix in this game is mind-blowing. Even the Crisis City music was amazing. Like, every part of this game was perfect, in my personal opinion. This is probably the second best... This is, like, if Sonic Colors was the apology for the apology for the apology, this was the like, congratulatory valedictorian speech for the Sonic universe.
Alright, I think that's all the questions.
Sweet. Now we're moving on to recent news, which is Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 2. This was recently announced back in January, and if I had to describe this, it would simply be this. Yes! So yeah, no idea when it comes out. They did GameSpot did an interview with these guys, and they pretty much flat out said, "Yeah, we realized what we did wrong in the episode 1, so we're gonna rework the graphic engine and the physics engine." Which means if they pretty much make it play like how Classic Sonic did and Generations, we're set. And the fact that we'll be able to play as Tails makes me happy. I mean, not to mention, we're going to be fighting Metal Sonic again, if for those who got the best ending in Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1. So, any questions about a news event, though we can't really speak much about it?
Okay. First of all, Leighton Gray says, "You forgot Sonic Pinball. How could you?"
It's considered a spin-off game. Next time I do this panel, I'll include it. And yes, Sonic Spinball is amazing.
Okay, and Covet says, "Do you think Knuckles will be playable in Sonic 4 Episode 2?
No, he'll probably be playable in Episode 3.
Yeah.
Because you know Sega's going to whore it out to that point.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Of course, now, who wants to take bets on if they're going to recycle bosses or actually get off their asses and actually make some new ones?
Here's hoping.
Yeah, here's hoping. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Now, in my original alterations... What?
Spaz wants to know if you found Sonic Generations anticlimactic.
I did, but... I didn't play the game for the storyline. I thought the storyline was cute, it was witty, it was humorous, just like how Colors was. I mainly played it because, for the longest time, I've always told myself, my friends, that if they were to make a Sonic game, I want to see them take classic stages and give them a 3D twist to them. And Sega delivered. That's why I picked up Generations, was because I wanted to experience, like, all 20 years of Sonic in, like, one awesome game. Okay, so it's in this part of the panel where I'd basically break down all the cartoon shows, but since I'm deciding to be different this time, I can pretty much explain all of the cartoon shows in 3 simple clips. So for AOSTH, or Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Pizza guys, we deliver! Wait, little bro. Remember what I told you.
Oh, yeah! Never open the door for anybody you don't know when you're home alone or your parents are busy.
Police, open up!
Get lost! Can't you see we're impersonating a policeman?
I hear you knocking, but you can't come in.
So yeah, Sonic Says segments. That's pretty much what people remember of Adventures of the Sonic the Hedgehog. Show was very slapstick, and that's all I'm going to say, because I want to get to the new part of my panel. So, can I move on to the next clip?
Yep, go.
Alright, guys, and for the record, make sure you do not walk into any tumble jars, because those things will kill you. That's probably like one of my favorite Sonic Says segments. So now on to Satam.
by Sonic the Hedgehog. Too fast for the naked eye. Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. Look out when he storms through. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes, Satam. Amazingly awesome, dark. Follow the Comics got canceled because ABC is stupid. Any comments or questions about Satam, or can I move on to the next clip?
Yeah, why did Satam have to die while Sonic X got 3 seasons?
Okay, I don't talk about Sonic X anymore, but if I had to say anything about Sonic X, let's be real here. All of the On-Earth stuff was stupid. But the second they got to the Meta-X saga, the show, for some amazing reason, got better. Because although Chris was still in it, he was now an 18-year-old trapped in a 12-year-old's body, and he actually did shit instead of sitting around and being a whiny little bitch. Not to mention that also introduced Cosmo, which was Tails' love interest, and the whole story between Tails and Cosmo was probably a really well-told story, and when she died at the end of the series, it was painful. Like, really painful to watch, especially as a Tails fan. May I move on?
Yep.
Okay, now, normally when now, the next part is if people can guess Sonic Underground, and people may moan and complain. I liked Underground, and I usually show amazing music video, but then I remember the best part about Sonic Underground, the fact that we get to see Knuckles' grandfather. So I'm going to show you a clip of Knuckles' grandfather and how amazing he is.
All right already. I'm all ears. Great Grandpa, there! Is that you?
You must not leave the floating island.
Why? But I promised my friends. Butnick has to be stopped.
Great grandson, you have been warned. If you leave the floating island, all of Mobius could be destroyed. The fate of Mobius is in your hands.
Knuckles, you must go find my Grail Diary. Together we can defeat the Germans and find the Holy Grail. Yeah, Knuckles' grandfather is Sean Connery.
Oh, shit.
I don't know what to say. It's amazing! So any questions about Sonic Underground, or Sean Connery is... Or who wants to see the clip again?
Yes, they want you to play it again.
All right already. I'm all ears. Great Grandpa, there! Is that you?
You must not leave the floating island.
Why? But I promised my friends. Butnick has to be stopped.
Great grandson, you have been warned. If you leave the floating island, all of Mobius could be destroyed. The fate of Mobius is in your hands.
I love Knuckles' dirt face whenever he says, like, all everything will be destroyed. Like, oh, oh, oh no, oh. So, yeah. Can I move on, guys?
Mobius.
Mobius. My diary's in Berlin.
Yep, you can go.
There can only be one Highlander! Alright, guys, so now we move on to a brand new part that, unfortunately, I was shut down for this idea by the MegaCon staff, so this is my revenge by cutting out my entire cartoon portion, summing down to 3 clips. I'm talking about Chow. Yes, the amazing A-Life system from Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 that honestly needs to come back in some way or form. So yeah, Chow. So let's talk about Chow. As we all know, Chow are these cute little adorable creatures that you happen to find in Sonic Adventure. You find them in eggs. In Adventure 2, you buy eggs. And you hatch them, and the next thing you know, you're dedicating 5 hours of your life to these adorable little creatures because, let's all face it, when you give a Chow an animal and it squeezes it to death and absorbs its abilities, it's kind of cute. But then, of course, Sonic Adventure 2 had to come around and introduce Chaos Drives, which then took the entire idea of Chow raising to the next level. Because with Chow raising, there are so many factors you need to worry about. I thought I killed my Chow. Wow, Dracul, I don't know what to say. But yeah, because what animals what animals did is they'd give your Chow some stats and then they'd quickly take them away, like instantly. And then, but the Chaos Drives, it's like, we'll give you bonuses in one stat, and then we won't take anything away. So, but then they still kept the animals. And let's all face it, you did all of this. You went to stages to get Chaos Drives or to get animals. You'd farm these things left and right for one and one sole purpose. To feed and make these cute little fuckers happy. So, more amazing things about Chow, because let's face it, when you want to talk about Chow, they're pretty much just as complicated as Pokemon are. Because, I mean, you have different types. You have the normal type, you have the power type, you have the fly type, you have the run type, and you have the swim type. You have all these types, and then there's also what you can do with them, such as giving them certain drives. You can give them different characteristics, you can give them different faces. You can make them look like certain characters in the games, like Knights, or Sonic, or Knuckles. Or a Japanese Kappa. Because you can! You know, and of course with that, you know, there's also, you know, the ultimate Chow, which is the Chaos Chow. Because let's face it, to get a Chaos Chow, your Chow had to die 3 times and be reincarnated if it really, really liked you. Which, of course, if you took your Chow egg and chuck it against the wall, it wasn't going to like you, and it's probably going to die a sad, horrible death. You know, besides getting the animals, there was also mating. Your Chow would get together, hearts would form above their heads, which I guess is the uniform Chow sign of let's have sex and get down and dirty, and then an egg would randomly spawn next to them, completing the circle of life, with no Mufasa or Stampede running over and grittiness. And because, let's all face it, when you were trying to go for a Chaos Chow, you always had one in mind. Like for me, I wanted to have a badass Chaos Chow that perfected in flying. So what did I do? I would pretty much make sure I got as many yellow Chaos Drives as I could. I made sure I got the Phoenix as much as I could. Then of course I would use Tails, go to his Route 101 stage, whore it out so I got 300 rings, then travel to the amazing black market in a kindergarten. Yeah, I don't get why there's a black market in a kindergarten of all places, to buy Chow fruit to make sure, and heart fruit to make sure the little fucker loved me. It was a vicious cycle. I think I spent, like, God, days if not months developing that one little Chow until I finally got the Chaos Chow. But of course, everybody knows once you did all this, there was only one thing you had to do to piss the shit out of your friends, and that was do Chow racing. Chow racing. If you didn't like it, then why the fuck were you even playing the Chow system? Because with Chow racing, there were different courses designed to test out the merit of your Chow, whether it be flying, power, or hell. You could do the amazing all-in-one obstacle course that had everything, including puzzle solving in it. And then once you beat those to get emblems, because Sonic Team decided to be dicks about it and say, you cannot 100% the game until you get special emblems from Chow events. Go fuck yourself, Sega. Then you could do party events and go, hey guys, let's race each other's Chows and see how badly I cream yours. But of course, if racing wasn't your fancy, you could also do the amazing Chow Karate that was introduced in Sonic Adventure 2, which meant if you had a power type, it was game over. But, and of course, there is one poster that kind of describes Chow racing in a nutshell. Chow races. The real reason why you bought Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. And, so yeah, that's it for the panel. If there's any questions about the panel itself, Chows, or games in general, please ask them now. And if this was MegaCon, I'd invite you to join me at the Sonic panel I'm co-hosting at Sunday at 11 a.m. Pokemon panel. Anything? Do you guys want to see gameplay footage of Sonic Schoolhouse?
Oh, God. Okay,
Ow, ow, legs hurt. There we go.
Takashi says, how do you feel about newer Sonic games? You know, I guess compared to pre-Dreamcast era.
Okay. Everyone knows that the Sonic fandom is, I'm not gonna lie, horrible. It's pretty much split into 3 distinctive groups. You have the classic whores who rage that nothing that's been released past the Dreamcast is ever going to be good, it all sucks, and they claim that all the classic games are amazing, which is why Sonic 4 was created. And then they went around and bitched about that. Then you have the modern fans who won't touch anything that didn't come out before the Dreamcast, which I think's stupid, because you can't really play and enjoy Sonic if you don't know his roots. But then you have the final class, which is where I fall in, how I'm pretty much neutral. Because I'm a Sonic fan, I give every Sonic game a try, and I try to find at least good merit in each game. That's why, yes, I'll agree Sonic 0 Shit is the worst game in existence, but I like the soundtrack, I like Silver, and I think it's awesome that Eggman was probably the most evil and conniving he's ever been in the series. So that's honestly where I stand on Sonic games. I'll give every single one of them a try, and I'll probably end up liking every single one, and even if I hate it, at least it has some good merit that I enjoyed.
Okay. Mectile asks if you like the Unleashed Night stages.
No, I didn't. I absolutely didn't. There was nothing redeemable. It was awesome the first time, but then it's like, oh, I've got what? I've got 37 more! Ugh! And then he just kind of passed out and died right there.
Okay, I'm not sure how you answer this one, but does anyone still read the comic books?
I've been trying to get back into the comic books. Unfortunately, my comic shop stopped carrying them, so I kind of fell behind after issue 216. I've got the Archie app for my iPad, and once I get a good paycheck, I'm probably going to go through and restart over from when they did the whole Genesis reboot on to now. Because if I remember correctly, Sally's finally been roboticized, and it completely fucked over Sonic's mindset and overall mood. And I really want to see that arc in its full and in its entirety. Not to mention, the Sonic Universe series is a really good compilation of awesome short stories. Like, they actually have an entire arc dedicated to Tails Adventure again.
Yeah, Barnes & Noble gets all the new ones all the time if you ever want to catch up.
Yeah, but I really want to see how the arc with Sally goes. And I kind of want to jump in the beginning of that.
Yeah. Okay, Mectile makes a really good point that Silver is Trunks from Dragon Ball Z turned into a furry.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I like Trunks from DBZ, so that's probably why I like Silver.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except Silver doesn't have a sword. Well, no, he did in Black Knight.
Exactly, there you go.
God, Black Knight. The only Sonic game where Knuckles tries to commit suicide.
Speaking of Black Knight, Takashi says, how do you feel about the character portrayal in Sonic and the Black Knight?
I'm gonna say this. I actually enjoyed Black Knight. I thought it was better than Secret Rings. Because it played a lot better. Controls were fluid. I actually liked how they personified all the characters. Blaze is probably the prime example. She's always been the noble, I'm going to stick to my own guns and do everything right, and that's exactly how she was in Black Knight. Knuckles, I was, the headstrong running first in the action, and then he's willing to die by the sword because he's failed his majesty, which made me laugh my ass off. Then again, nothing beats Knuckles' line from Sonic and the Secret Rings. I am Sinbad, sailor of the seven seas, adventurer of adventurers. So damn campy.
Okay, Mectile says, agree or disagree, Sonic and Brawl was overpowered. That's the first I've heard something like that.
I've never heard anybody say Sonic overpowered. The only time I had someone pissed at me for using Sonic was because they were using Falco, and they got butthurt because I was kicking their ass, because they never played Brawl. And the guy says to me, it's not fair, I used to be the fastest character, and I just looked at him and said, not anymore, bitch. He's overpowered if you know how to use him. Like every other character. Like, I use Snake really well, and my friends get pissy with me when I kick their asses with Snake, but then again, Snake's my main character. If you train to use a character, then they can become overpowered. The one thing that's overpowered about Sonic is that his supersonic form, I think, is easier to control than Pikachu's stupid Volt Tackle of uncontrollability.
Right, but if you're not playing with Smash Balls, then none of his moves really are good.
Sonic is good for racking up damage. He's not good for knocking people off the stage unless you do a charged attack.
this one. Takashi says, I know you don't really like the werehog, but do you like Chip?
I love Chip. Chip is amazing. He's adorable. He's cute. I mean, I said that before. He's the best pickup line anyone can do. You want some chocolate?
Alright. You saw that animation with the ghost chick, right? To promote the werehog game?
Oh, God. Yeah, I did.
Oh, Takashi is Gary. Hi, Gary.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
But yeah, Gary, no, I saw that animation. It was interesting. That's all I can really say about it.
I guess that's all the questions.
Cool. So I'm gonna ask it again. Who wants to see footage of Sonic Schoolhouse?
Gary has one more question, apparently.
Yes. What is it, Gary?
How do you feel about Sonic 4?
I just...
He kind of went over that, didn't he?
I did. Like, it was a... I thought it was a...
He said he was off derping.
Okay, my thoughts on Sonic 4, once again. It was a fun game, it just had its flaws, like the physics system, the fact that it rehashed a lot of old bosses, though they did give new twists on it, and the special stages sucked ass.
But for episode 2, they are redoing the physics system, apparently, to be more like the original games.
Yes, they're pretty much, for episode 2, they're basically they're reworking everything from the ground up again, which I hope that they do Sonic Generations for that system.
Okay, and then the rest want to see Sonic Schoolhouse, and I feel sorry for them.
I really, yeah, let's do it.
Make sure it's not the terrible Let's Play by the 10-year-old.
No, it's not. It's not. It's the proper one. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Oh, God. Hey, I like my Mac.
I'm Sonic. Click on me for help.
So yeah, this is a Sonic Schoolhouse, and it's a... Wait, Richard Cole... Isn't that the guy who did the Mega Man fan video that was really awesome?
Yeah. He's doing the fan film with Jaleel White as Sonic.
I'm excited for that. No? Oh, are you talking...
Oh, no?
Oh, you're talking about that... Oh, you're talking about that guy.
The other fan filmmaker.
You mean the one that nobody mentions because he was a creepy prick? Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, that guy's insane. Oh, I am... Wait, you're joking, Gary, right? He lives in Cali.
Oh, no.
Oh, God, I hope I don't cross paths with him.
You see them.
What? Should I just go...
Sorry, Gary.
Should I just go ahead and skip to the driving stage?
Won't do it.
Is that okay with you guys if I skip to the driving level? Are you guys really enjoying watching this really... Hey, look, it's Echo. Okay, just to save. Okay, let's get past the really bad music.
Click on the buttons over the window.
Okay, here we go.
Click on one of my friends to go for a visit. Click on the buttons over the window to find out more about whoever you're visiting. Click on the red light when you're ready to go back to school. Now buckle up.
Oh, sweet God!
Buttons over the window. Find out more about whoever you're visiting.
Good day, mate. That's how we say hello where I'm from. That's Australia, in case you didn't pick up on the accent. I've also got family in New Zealand, which is an island just off the western coast. We all live in the southern hemisphere. That puts us on the bottom half of your globe. Since we're all the way down under, it means our seasons are the opposite of most blokes. January and February are beach months for us. Keep that in mind if you're planning a visit.
Blokes.
Yeah, Spaz, this is...
Sorry you're leaving. You're gonna come back soon, right?
Hell no.
You better come back soon.
So yeah, that's it for my Sonic panel, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and who do I owe a quick play of Echo?
I don't remember.
Oh, God. Fine.
Oh. I guess Gary.
No, let's not do that. Let's, It's just kind of redundant for me since I'm currently playing through this on my actual Genesis. Did I really go over the screen too much? That's...
Well, like...
What are they asking? Like... Because I'm not sure how to do the whole, like, record audio off of Skype and put it into a podcast thing.
I don't think that's what they're asking.
Oh.
I don't think they're really asking anything.
No, they're not. And that looks like a good frame. Okay, so, yeah. Here's Echo. Unless you guys want to watch the really, really piss-poor Mega Man DOS game. That's one vote for Mega Man. Yes, I have. I love Mega Man Battle and Chase. Mega Man Soccer was also fun. Choices were Echo 2 Tides of Time or Mega Man 3 on DOS. And it sucks because the Mega Man MMO will never reach stateside.
Yeah, it'll only be in Korea, pretty much.
How can you stay beneath the waves so long without air? Charge small fish to feed and gain strength. And no thank you. Let's just get on with the game. Since I kind of played this the other night. There we go. Hello, mirror image dolphin? Why are you blocking my path? I will sing to you. The sea is filled with teleport rings made only for you by the Atlanteans. What did I do wrong? That's wrong. Oh, I hate when they do that. Whee! Oh, no, I missed it! Crud. There we go. Let me change something real quick. Let me drag this over here so I can actually see the... There we go. I need to save Ariel! Alright. This is the only part I really don't like about Echo 2 is these stupid, like, ring challenges that are kind of unfair at times. Especially towards the end when not only have to worry about conch shells blowing magical bubbles at you, but you also have to worry about sharks. Alright, Crystal Springs. The technically second level of the game. Follow me, Echo. There's something strange below. Anyway. So yeah, so for the first stage... Oh, hey, shark. Alright, so the first stage, our main goal is to basically free these crystals and get it to go down to the crystal down below. And this is a really annoying part where we pretty much have to basically sing to the crystal until it falls off its hinge. There we go. And then we need to basically make sure it goes right back down to the bottom. And now we've got 2 more to go. And, oh, that's a bunch of sharks and jellyfish and funness. Because I can! Because I don't need air. Because after all, Echo doesn't need air after the Astrite basically gave him the ability to breathe underwater and use echolocation to stop the, there we go. Stop the vortex. Oh. Don't even talk to me about rocks, because this game trolls with rocks so horribly. Whee! That's the first time I've actually been able to do these without having much issue. No! Why are you throwing a rock at me? And now that the Mega Crystal has been completed, use this song to shatter the stone! Oh yay, we now have the ability to shatter, well, not to shatter all stones, but just these stones. Ow, what? I didn't know that would hurt me. Alright, Fault Zone, level 3. Ah, Fault Zone, this is where the game starts introducing its, like, basic mechanics of overall... Oh god, a crab! eat fish to stay alive. Okay. I have to delicately move this rock to break other rocks. Because that's logic, right? Hated that puzzle, and it's because of the rock puzzle in the first Echo game. I could never. Oh God, what's going on? And for some unknown reason, I just lost my ability to breathe underwater as I get bombarded with rocks. So I don't know what's gonna happen with Echo now. Why are you in my way? You have lost the power that the asteroid has given you. Now you must surface for air. Yay. Well, 2 tides. Now, on my actual own cartridge of this game, this is where everyone stopped playing because they couldn't beat it for some reason or another. So, let's do 2 tides. We have felt the depth of the asteroid, and now we hear songs of fear from the north. We have heard terrible songs of strange creatures in the sea. We are frightened. We feel the presence of the vortex kind. When will we swim in peace again? And that's what all these dolphins talk about, so they don't say anything else. I didn't mean to talk to you. Cool story, bro. Use our echolocator to pull up a map. And this is when the game gets to its normal Echo difficulty, where you have to do stupid shit like shatter stones, or talk to several key glyphs, and then go find another glyph while surfacing for air. We don't get the ability to breathe underwater until we're done with, like, the bad future. Oh, I just killed a... I think I just killed a vortex. Let's go down this mysterious and unmarked passage with my very limited air supply. Oh, look! There's boulders! Ow. Ow. Oh. What the? Okay, there we go. So, complete. Now we've got the key glyph, and now we need to swim back before I drown. Ow. Or get killed by falling rocks. Ow. Swim, Echo! Splash! Okay, now somewhere down here is a, Oh, perfect. Let's go get the pulsar first. Oh, crap, spikes. Anyway, this is a pulsar. You basically dodge into it and you have to get a really weird sound effect. You can now do like an echolocation burst, where you can pretty much do this. And you'll pretty much have your sonar like go in a full 360, and it damages enemies. And unfortunately communicates other dolphins. So pretty much with our new pulsar move, we can pretty much kill anything that tries to surround us. Alright, which way do we... This is the way we need to go, because I think I already used the key glyph. Nope. Yay! And now we have our turtle friend. It's a cute little turtle. Look at the little turtle! Now let's use the turtle as a shield to make sure that we don't die in the current. Okay, there we go. I think I did this right. And... yes, I did. So I need to go to the glyph over here. Oh, no, I screwed that up, didn't I? What did I do? What did I do? Oh, Christ. Oh, it's time to surface for air before I... Oh, crud. No! Oh, no. No, no. crud, 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 crud. I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm going to die. No! Oh, God! God! Ah! Oh my God. Yep, I can do that.